The calm before the storm. Damien sat in the break room of the Juggernaut, a dwarf-class industrial ship he'd called home for the past 8 years. As he ran system diagnostics remotely, his concentration was interrupted by the arrival of Galen and Trez, 2 Orans, a bipedal avian species with feathered bodies and keen eyes. Damien rose from his seat and performed a traditional Agorian greeting, spreading his arms wide and dipping his head. "Good meeting," Damien said, his voice warm. "Good meeting," the Orans replied in unison before taking seats across from him. Galen, the more curious of the two, asked, "What are you doing here all alone?" "Just going through performance statistics and ship diagnostics," Damien responded casually, his eyes still on the holographic display in front of him. Trez, always more observant, noticed something unusual and asked, "How are you controlling all that from here?" "Oh, right. You probably haven't seen one of these before," Damien said, turning his head to reveal a small metallic port just behind his right ear. "It's a neural interface. Lets me control a few of the ship's systems." Galen's eyes widened. "You mean you have a machine inside you?" "Yeah, not too many species can tolerate this kind of tech, but it's really useful," Damien said with a shrug. "Do all human workers have neural interfaces?" Trez asked, examining the port with curiosity. Damien chuckled. "Oh no, I only have this because I used to be a soldier." Galen, intrigued but hesitant, blurted out, "You don't seem like a warrior." Damien laughed again, shaking his head. "No offense taken. Humans don't really have castes or classes like some species. Not anymore, at least." The room fell silent as Damien's expression grew serious. "I was a pilot in the First Contact War." The words hung in the air like a heavy fog. The Orans exchanged puzzled looks. Few aliens knew much about humanity's First Contact War. Galen, his voice lowered to a near whisper, asked, "What was the war like?" Damien paused, his usual smile fading. "If you really want to know, I'll tell you. But you must understand, this is our past. It's not who we are now." Both Orans nodded their feathered heads, leaning in closer. "Are either of you aware of the Nri?" Damien asked. They shook their heads, unfamiliar with the name. They were an expansive race, spanning 4 star systems and totaling 26 planets. Damien explained as he unclipped his holo-viewer and placed it on the table. It flickered to life, displaying a star map. They used to control what is now a dominant trade and relay system between human, Hunger, and Pride territories. The Nri are a scattered people now, galactic nomads. The reason for this is the First Contact War. The room grew even quieter as Damien continued. Humanity was just beginning to colonize other planets in our home system when the Nri arrived. We were a modest people, toiling away, making gradual but steady progress. We were hopeful, curious about what lay beyond our solar system. But we never got the chance to reach out on our own. The holo-viewer shifted to display Neptune and a vast space station surrounding it. This was Manura 1, the largest astronomical research center ever built, a planet-sized telescope for ultra-deep cosmic observation, Damien said, pride evident in his voice. But as the image on the holo-viewer dissolved into chaos, his tone darkened. The Nri attacked without warning, without mercy. They wiped out the station and set up harvesting facilities to strip the planet clean. The number 17,576 appeared on the holo-viewer, hovering ominously. Damien let the number hang in the air before zooming the view out to the entire solar system. We hoped for the best, but we prepared for the worst. The destruction of Manhura 1 was an attack on humanity itself. In less than 2 months, Earth's major powers signed the most comprehensive pacts and peace treaties in history. We were unified for the first time. Humanity's unyielding resolve. Factories and production facilities sprang up overnight. Research centers burned with the light of new ideas and innovations. Every vessel capable of space travel was retrofitted with makeshift weaponry. Humanity knew they couldn't confront the Nri head-on. Not yet, at least. So, they focused on information gathering. The holo-viewer displayed early images of human offensive efforts. We weaponized shipping freighters and exploratory drones, Damien explained, hitting the Nri fast and hard before disappearing again. Humanity took heavy losses initially, but they learned from every encounter. Small bits of Nri technology found their way into human manufacturing centers, and before long, the first true human fleet was born. The holo-viewer showed crude, bulky ships, early versions of what would become the backbone of humanity's space force. The early generations of stellar naval pilots took to the sky. Damien said, his voice tinged with sorrow. They didn't last long. The neural interfaces we used back then placed immense stress on the nervous system. Every soldier knew the risks, but they went out there anyway, without hesitation. Damien touched the neural port behind his ear, a reflexive gesture as he watched the human fleet make its way across the solar system. By the time we had developed better technology, the Nri had already populated Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter. They were beginning to harvest the outer asteroid belt, so we struck where it hurt the most. Humanity severed the Nri's supply lines, starved them out, and learned to decipher and scatter their subspace communications. Every battle gave us more knowledge, every victory earned us more technology, and every defeat hardened our resolve, Damien said, his voice full of conviction. Eventually, we drove the Nri out. The solar system was ours again. The holo-viewer displayed the solar system bathed in sunlight. The ultimate prize was the FTL drive, reconstructed from an Nri cruiser, Damien said, his voice full of pride. And so began the dawn of humanity's stellar age. But Damien's expression grew darker as he continued. We harvested the power and resources the Nri had sought to take from us, and we pursued them from one system to the next, burning everything in our path. We even took inspiration from them, converting captured worlds into massive factories and shipyards. A new galactic power. Soon, humanity found itself on the galactic stage, standing before the Interspecies Compact. Scenes from the holo-viewer show humans receiving official recognition from the galactic delegation. Trade agreements and treaties were signed, and humanity quickly became an integral part of the compact. We were a very adaptable people, Damien explained. We quickly incorporated and even improved upon most of the technologies we encountered. Our reputation as fierce warriors earned us as much respect as it did animosity. Humanity's cultural exports became some of the most desired in the galaxy, and their resilience made them indispensable. The holo-viewer played audio from a fateful compact meeting. A Nri representative stepped forward, recognizing humanity as a full-fledged member of the compact and offering to cease military action and yield occupied worlds. But the human representative, a general in the human fleet, stepped forward and spoke calmly. 17,573. The Nri were confused, but the human general continued, "Whatever you offer us, we shall return 1,000,000,000 times over. We welcome all species with open arms, so long as they welcome us." Damien's voice grew solemn as he recounted the general's words. "Do business with us, and we will ensure terms that are most agreeable to all parties. Share your technologies with us, and we will improve, mass produce, and return them to you. Rely on us, and we will shield you from all danger. Talk to us, and we will share all that we know. Befriend us, and we shall love you as we do our own brothers and sisters." The compact members were taken aback by humanity's boldness and determination, but the Nri, humbled by their defeat, had no choice but to accept the terms. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, and they were not about to be underestimated again. The price of victory. As Damien continued his story, the Aurans listened intently, their eyes wide with both awe and fear. The holo-viewer now displayed the aftermath of the war, the planets and systems left in ruins, the countless lives lost, and the heavy toll the war had taken on humanity. "We paid a steep price for our victory," Damien said, his voice tinged with sorrow. The neural interfaces that had once been our greatest asset had become our greatest burden. The stress they placed on our soldiers' minds and bodies was unimaginable. Many of them didn't survive, and those who did were forever changed. The Aurans exchanged nervous glances, realizing the gravity of what Damien was saying. But despite the cost, humanity continued to push forward. Damien continued. We rebuilt what had been destroyed, we forged new alliances, and we continued to explore the stars. The Holo viewer now showed images of newly colonized planets, thriving cities, and bustling trade routes. We learned from our mistakes, and we became stronger for it, Damien said, his voice full of determination. We became a force to be reckoned with, and we made sure that no one would ever dare to challenge us again. The Aurans were silent, their minds racing as they tried to process everything they had just heard. Damien could see the fear in their eyes, but he also saw something else: respect. Remember, Damien said, his voice firm, we are not the same people we were during the First Contact War. We have grown, we have learned, and we have changed. But we will never forget the lessons of our past, and we will always be ready to defend ourselves and our allies. The future of humanity. The Holo viewer now displayed images of the Interspecies Compact, a diverse coalition of species working together for the greater good of the galaxy. Today, humanity is a proud member of the Compact, Damien said, his voice full of pride. We work alongside our allies to ensure peace and prosperity for all. The Aurans nodded, finally understanding the true nature of humanity. We are explorers, innovators, and protectors, Damien continued. We value knowledge, cooperation, and progress. But we are also warriors, and we will fight to protect what is ours. The Holo viewer now showed images of human soldiers standing shoulder to shoulder with their alien allies, united in their mission to defend the galaxy from any threat that might arise. We are stronger together, Damien said, his voice full of conviction, and we will continue to grow stronger as we face the challenges of the future. The Aurans looked at Damien with newfound respect, realizing that they were in the presence of a true warrior, a warrior who had fought not just for his own people, but for the future of the entire galaxy, the legacy of the First Contact War. As the Holo viewer displayed the final images of the First Contact War, Damien took a deep breath, reflecting on the legacy of that fateful conflict. The First Contact War was a turning point for humanity, he said, his voice full of emotion. It was a time of great loss, but it was also a time of great growth. We learned who we were, what we were capable of, and what we were willing to fight for. The Aurans nodded, understanding the importance of the lessons Damien was sharing. The war showed us that we are stronger together, Damien continued. It taught us the value of cooperation, the importance of innovation, and the power of determination. But most importantly, it showed us that we are capable of overcoming any obstacle, no matter how great. The Holo viewer now displayed images of humanity's greatest achievements: the colonization of new worlds, the development of advanced technologies, and the establishment of a thriving galactic civilization. We have come a long way since the First Contact War, Damien said, his voice full of pride. But we will never forget the sacrifices that were made, and we will never stop striving to be better. The Aurans looked at Damien with admiration, realizing that they were in the presence of a true hero, a hero who had fought not just for his own people, but for the future of the entire galaxy, a new era of peace and prosperity. As the Holo viewer displayed images of the peaceful, thriving galaxy that humanity had helped create, Damien smiled, feeling a sense of satisfaction and pride. Today, we stand on the brink of a new era, he said, his voice full of hope. An era of peace, prosperity, and cooperation. An era where all species can work together to build a better future for all. The Aurans nodded, feeling a sense of optimism and excitement for the future. We have come a long way since the First Contact War, Damien continued, but our journey is far from over. There is still so much to learn, so much to explore, and so much to achieve. and we will face the challenges of the future together as one united galaxy. The HoloViewer now displayed images of human and alien diplomats shaking hands, scientists working together in state-of-the-art research facilities, and explorers charting new worlds and discovering new wonders. Together, we will continue to push the boundaries of what is possible, Damien said, his voice full of determination. And together, we will build a future that is bright, prosperous, and full of hope. The Aurans looked at Damien with respect and admiration, realizing that they were in the presence of a true visionary, a visionary who had helped shape the future of the galaxy, and who would continue to lead humanity toward even greater heights. As the HoloViewer flickered off, the Aurans rose from their seats, bowing deeply to Damien in a gesture of deep respect. "Thank you for sharing your story with us," Galen said, his voice full of gratitude. "We have learned so much from you." Damien smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. "It was my pleasure," he said, his voice warm and sincere. "Remember, we are stronger together. And together, we can achieve anything." The Aurans nodded, feeling a sense of camaraderie and unity with the human in front of them. As they left the break room, they knew that they had just experienced something truly special, something that would stay with them for the rest of their lives. And Damien, as he watched them go, felt a deep sense of pride and satisfaction. He knew that the future of humanity was bright, and that together with their allies, they would continue to achieve great things. For they were humanity, resilient, determined, and unstoppable. And they would continue to shape the future of the galaxy, one step at a time.